Hello, I'm Jim Marshall, and I'm about to get interviewed by Bobby Fazio.
Sun is shining here at Gainesville Raceway finally for the first time in 2 days for the 2022 NHRA Gator Nationals. And you know me, I'm cruising around the pits looking for those beautiful stock and super stock drag cars. And I came across this H-Stock automatic 1979 Nova driven by Mr. Jim Marshall. Jim, how you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Jim, let's talk about your car here. So it's a 79 Nova. What kind of engine combination is that?
It's a dish piston 350 rated at 279 NHRA, 165 factory.
All right, so it was a 350 advertised at 165 by Chevrolet back in 1979. NHRA rates it at, again,
279 horsepower.
279, and that's where NHRA comes up with the class and minimum weight. Jim, what is your minimum weight in H-Stock automatic?
As a 79, it's 3375.
3375 is how much Jim has to weigh every time he pulls on the scale after a run. Jim, can we take a peek under the hood here and talk about the engine a little bit?
Absolutely.
Now, as you all may know or may not know, stock Eliminator, you have to run the engine that came in the car for that given year. So Jim, given it's a 1979 Nova, you also have to run the factory carburetor. What kind of carburetor came on these cars?
It's a 750 CFM Rochester Quadrajet.
All right. Now, who builds your engines?
A gentleman named Matt Steen at Victory Engines in Marshall, Minnesota.
Okay, and then the carburetor is a very important piece. Does he also service your carburetor?
No, that's old Danny Ashley. When he was still doing carburetors, he built me a special one, and I use it today.
All right. Now let's take a peek inside the car, if you don't mind, Jim.
Not a problem.
Now here's what I love about stock Eliminator. You must run factory dash, knobs, things like that. And up until a few years ago, you had to run the factory seats. You are allowed to change out the factory seats now and put a racing seat in. You must run 2 seats though. Jim chooses to run the factory bench seat, which I think is really cool. And as far as back seats, you are allowed to remove the back seat if you put a roll bar in. Factory carpeting must remain, so carpeting is in. Jim, what kind of transmission do you run in this car?
We use a metric 291 first gear built by Jack Sapanic with an ATI converter.
Excellent. So ATI converter, very well-known brand, and Jack Sapanic, very well-known transmission builder. And then in stock Eliminator, you are allowed to run a corporate rear, so you don't have to run the exact rear that came in the car. You're allowed to change. What did you? What do you choose to run?
We choose a 12-bolt Chevrolet out of about a 70 model. They were still stock in 70, so I put it in this later model. We're allowed to do so. So
right.
I run a 513 rear end gear and spool and axle by Moser.
So he's sharing his rear gear ratio, which is not very likely by stock Eliminator drivers. Sometimes they're very secretive about that. So Jim's not secretive. He's an open book right now. Maybe we can get some other information out of him. Choosing to run the 30x9 typical drag racing radial tire. That stock Eliminator, your limited 9-inch wide tire is as big as you can go. Another reason we love stock. They look like they were driven in off the street and into competition. All right, Jim, supporting Class Racing Today podcast there. I like that. All right, Jim, thank you very much. Do you think stock Eliminator is going to get out there today and run?
Well, actually, they probably will, but I'm not really in a hurry. We want the wind to die down, maybe get a fresh start when the wind dies down some, but whenever they let us get out there, we'll do it.
All right. Well, good luck to you this weekend, Jim, and thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you, Bobby. Appreciate it.